It's time for the Helpmeets to get together. It's time. I'm Yvette Benton of Gerald and Yvette Ministries, and it's Wednesday evening, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I come on to give some tips while we sip and enjoy one another, have some time together as helpmeets that are suitable because it requires work to be suitable. So I'm the author of Help for the Helpmeets, and we will be looking at a very important tip tonight. So as you come in, I always love to hear you declare. Well, I kind of have to see you declare because you're online, but declare, I'm a helpmeet suitable. I want to know that you are declaring you're a helpmeet suitable and what you're sipping. It's always good to hear what you're sipping. Well, you know, I am I'm sipping apple cider sparkling tonight. Apple cider sparkling. It's pretty good. I'm doing a little bit better. So I have a smaller glass tonight, but still tastes extremely good. So decree and declare, I'm a helpmeet suitable, and I'm sipping because this is tip time and sip time. We make sure we have our sips just to make sure we can get down some of these tips that God requires of us. Need a little help going down. So when we need a little help going down, nothing like sparkling juice. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending some time with me. Helpmeets need one another. So I'm so glad to see some of you tagging people. Thank you for those who will be watching on our YouTube channel, Gerald and Yvette Ministries. And if you need other resources, before I forget, go to geraldandyvette.com. geraldandyvette.com. So today is a little bit different, a tiny bit different in the tip today. I asked Holy Spirit, where do you want me to go in the book? Where do you want me to look for a tip? And this time I was kind of led to a heading, not as much a paragraph. So I was led to look at a heading today. So that's kind of interesting because I don't know that we've ever done that on Tips and Sips. But I'm on page 67 of Help for the Helpmeet. If you are a helpmeet, you are preparing to be married, you are already married, you need my book and workbook because let me tell you, being a helpmeet suitable is one of my greatest joys, but it is not an easy task. So if you're suitable, you could probably put some emojis in the comment area just to say, you know what, she's right. But it is doable because all things are possible through Christ. That's what we talked about on our last tip. But on page 67, do you have your book? Make sure you have your book, page 67. It's a heading. So, be strengthened, be creative, be a fighter. That's what the Holy Spirit just kind of popped into my spirit. Like, look at that title. Look at that heading on page 67. It's in bold. It's important. Page 67 in our book, page 67 in our book. Be strengthened, be creative, be a fighter. Those three things are so important. But I love that it starts with be strengthened. You've got to be strong in order to be a helpmeet that is suitable. But you don't have to be strong in your own strength. We talked about it. You've got to be strong in the Lord. And that is so important. But according to Psalms 46:1, the Holy Spirit is our strength and present help in the time of trouble. But we want to be reminded to be strengthened. That means ongoing strength, not just strong, but be strengthened, which means, you know what? I need strength on Monday. I need strength on Tuesday. I need strength on Wednesday. You get the picture. I need to be strengthened over and over and over. When you stop, then you will have a struggle being a suitable helpmeet. I'm telling you, you need to go to God constantly to get your strength, and you draw strength. Exactly, you draw strength from the Lord. But I love this. Be creative. Now that means you can't do the same thing over and over and over and feel like you're going to be suitable for your king. It's just not going to happen. In order to be creative, you have to tap into Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is a strategist. God is a strategist, let me tell you. And through the Holy Spirit, he will help you think of things you would have never thought to do for your husband, around your husband, in yourself. So you got to be creative. That means you got to think outside the box. Don't do the same thing over and over. Let me tell you, we're about to shift in the spirit realm. You've got to shift when God shifts. When the spirit is shifting, when there's a shift in your elevation with your king, you've got to elevate. So be creative. One thing a king does not need is a helpmeet that's stale, a helpmeet that's doing the same things over and over and over again. You got to pay attention. You got to tap into your king. So you got to be creative. And when I tell you, you've got to be strengthened, you've got to be creative, but last but certainly not least, you got to be a fighter. And I don't mean fight your husband. Woo! Wait, that requires a sip. Some people might have looked at the title and was like, yeah, I got that down. I'm a fight. I'm gonna fight my husband. I'm gonna argue, fuss, fight, whatever I gotta do. No. You gotta be a fighter in the spirit. You gotta know what your authority is. You have to know who your enemy is. You have to know how to fight the good fight of faith. You gotta know how to use your spiritual weapons. You gotta be a fighter. You gotta be a fighter. Some of you need to fight the devil instead of your husband. That's another tip. Go look back on it on our YouTube channel. So be strengthened. Continually strengthen yourself concerning being a helpmeet suitable. Be creative. Make sure you're not doing the same things all the time. But a big one is you gotta be a fighter. Too many Christians are wimping out, or the devil is shaking a little, causing us to be a little fearful, causing us to back up, causing us to think we can't do it, and all of a sudden, we're moved. We cannot be moved by the enemy. We cannot be moved by his tactics. We cannot be moved just because he's cunning and crafty. His job is to steal, kill, and destroy. Our job is to knock him out the box. Our job is to let him know whose authority we ride with. We're riders with the Holy Spirit because we're creative. Because we hear Holy Spirit and he's given us all kinds of strategies to outwit the devil. We are fighters. We are strong. We are fighters. We're creative. So think of some things. When you write in your journal, think. Don't just say, I've got to be creative. Think of creative ideas. Ask Holy Spirit, what should I do differently? So when you reflect, don't just say I'm creative. Come up with something new that you're going to do for your king. Come up with something new that's going to help you become strengthened. Be strengthened. Be creative. Be a fighter. That's what I want you to write in your journal. It's a helpmeet tip. Put the page number 67, and when you reflect, come up with different answers to how you're going to be creative. How are you going to continue to keep yourself strong? Because this fight is not against flesh and blood. So you got to be strong to be a fighter. So that's the declaration. I'm a fighter. Because if you're a fighter, you're already going to tap into be strengthened, and you're going to tap into be creative. So that's your declaration. I want to see it. I'm a fighter. You're already doing it. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter because I'm strong in the Lord. I'm a fighter because I'm creative. I'm a fighter because I'm a helpmeet that is suitable. And I know my spiritual weapons. I know how to use my authority. I know how to take down the devil. The devil comes my way, he's going to catch these hands. The fivefold ministry. Of course. Take a step. Calm down. No, don't calm down. You're a fighter. You're a fighter. Because the enemy's coming after families. The enemy's coming after marriages. The enemy's coming after our destiny and purpose. So instead of waiting for the enemy to come after us, when the kingdom suffers violence, the violent take it by force. Take your family back. Take your marriage back. Take back your ministry. Take back your destiny and purpose. Take Yes, the devil's going down. We already know that because you're a fighter and you know exactly what you're fighting, who you're fighting. You're fighting the enemy. So get those spiritual gifts, sharpen them up, be strengthened, be creative, be a fighter. Because the devil's going to catch that fivefold ministry. He's going to catch the hand. All right. I always appreciate it when you guys stop by and declare your Helpmeet suitable with me. Spend some time with me. It's almost time for me to meet for midnight prayer with my mentoring group. Oh, yes. The Helpmeet Army. We don't play. We come to slay, not play. So it's almost time for our prayer. I get excited. I get all revved up. See what God is going to download for the Helpmeet Army. We meet on Wednesday evenings and tear some things down. So I know that my mentees are ready to fight in the spirit. They're ready to be strong. They're ready to be creative. And they're ready to be fighters. So write in your journal. Don't forget, GeraldandYvette.com. Make sure you're getting your journal and your book. I appreciate you. Oh, yes. Declare it. We come to slay, not play. It's time to worship. Then it's time to pray. I appreciate my Helpmeet Army always coming in and supporting me, and all of you that are with us on YouTube and Facebook. I'm a Helpmeet suitable, and so are you.